I think Thomas Massie finally smarted off one too many times. Smarted off.
What? Wait, what what?
I think that's how people feel about Massie. No, people actually appreciate Massie smarting off and staying true to his values and campaign promises, which is being America first.
What?
So you know how Thomas Massie is telling the truth about the big, beautiful bill. He's telling the truth about AIPAC. He's telling the truth about our Israel policy. So Trump and AIPAC want to get rid of him, right? So because Trump is not America first, he's Israel first, then Argentina first, and maybe the United States after that. But so this is the guy they picked to run against Thomas Massie. They got this guy. Look, he looks like a regular guy. Doesn't he look like a regular guy?
I feel like he probably is on Tinder just already.
So Trump endorsed this guy over Thomas Massie. And
Grindr, excuse me.
So who is this guy? Zionist lobbyists have provided Thomas Massie's Republican primary opponent, Ed Galrean, how do you spell his name? Ed Galrean, with almost $2 million so far in a bid to primary Massie, rendering him unable to run for re-election if he loses so if Massie loses the primary, he can't run for re-election. Paul Singer has donated $1 million to this guy, while Miriam Adelson's PAC and John Paulson have both donated hundreds of thousands to this guy to try to get rid of Thomas Massie because he is telling the truth about AIPAC and Israel. Thomas Massie has received no money from the Zionist lobby whatsoever.
Well, he's the guy trying to expose the Epstein thing that Mike Johnson doesn't want to.
That's right.
Mike Grinder Johnson.
That's right. Thomas Massie wants to expose the Epstein files, and Trump and AIPAC want to get rid of him. So does Marian Adelson and all the top Jewish donors. They want to get rid of him. This is the guy that's running against him, Ed Galrean. Look at that. Oh, almost $2 million spent by Israel lobby groups for him. Isn't that something? But I don't know much about him, but even though he got paid $2 million from a PAC, I bet he makes his family fight over one stale cookie under glass for the holidays. That's what I'm guessing.
Oh, I think he hunts him through the woods naked.
And he's so cheap he won't even pitch in for a colored picture of himself. That's how cheap he is.
He's got that weird crinkly face like Kenneth Copeland.
So President Trump's threats to run a GOP primary challenger against Thomas Massie have come to fruition. Ed Galrean, a Trump-endorsed candidate from Shelby County, officially launched his campaign against Massie on Tuesday. Trump has long feuded with Massie over the North Kentucky's congressman's contrarian and very public stances against him dating back to Trump's first term.
When Trump tried to primary him about the vaccine that Thomas Massie was right about, and it didn't work the first time.
Yep. Trump's frustration reached new heights this year with Massie's objection to his budget bill and his foreign policy in the Middle East, as well as Massie's insistence that the full files on SEX offender Jeffrey Epstein be released. A political action committee affiliated with Trump's team called MAGA Kentucky has unloaded $1.8 million in ads against Massie so far, and Massie, fresh off a fundraising quarter that saw him bring in a record $786,000 to pad a campaign war chest of $2 million, expressed confidence that he could beat Galrean. He called him a candidate of the Uniparty, a term used to deride politicians seen as too similar to the opposition party. The Uniparty in D.C. finally found someone willing to be a rubber stamp for globalist billionaires, endless debt, foreign aid, and forever wars in failed candidate and Lindsey Graham donor Ed Galrean, Massie wrote in a news release. 4th District voters appreciate having an independent conservative voice who works for them, and I look forward to continuing my fight for transparency, constitutional rights, secure borders, a true America First foreign policy, and fiscal responsibility. Some supporters believe Galrean will forge an unholy alliance of more moderate Chamber of Commerce-aligned Republicans in North Kentucky and Trump loyalist voters throughout the district. There will be an unholy alliance, no doubt about it, Eric Dieters, former GOP candidate against Massie, told the Herald Leader. Massie will have his hardcore voters, and that's it. If it's somebody that likes Massie and likes Trump, they're not in Massie's inner circle. They're going to vote for their president. So he's predicting that Massie will lose because if it comes down to Massie versus Trump, the GOP voters will pick Trump.
We know that's not true. It already happened that way.
It already happened once. A longtime detractor of Massie's, Dieters thinks there's a certain amount of loyalty to the congressman in the district. Massie easily fended off Dieters in another challenger in 2024, but the dynamic is different now with Trump's full support. I think Thomas Massie finally smarted off one too many times. Smarted off.
What? Wait, what the? What?
I think that's how people feel about Massie. No, people actually appreciate Massie smarting off and staying true to his values and campaign promises, which is being America first.
What in the shit? Like, the reason I like Trump was because he was smarting off.
That's why we like Trump.
Yeah, I don't like him for his not smarting off.
Yeah, we don't like Trump when he actually does the bidding of the deep state establishment, military-industrial complex, Wall Street, and Big Pharma. But we like Trump when he's smarting off.
That's the only good part about Trump.
That's the longtime Massie ally, State Representative Savannah Maddox, said that in Northern Kentucky, it will be a matter of voters picking between a candidate they know and one they don't. And nobody knows Galrean, she said. I know that he's a failed state Senate candidate who came up short, and I know he has a military background, but that's all I really know, Maddox said. People know Thomas. They know what he's about. Whether they agree with him or not, they know he's consistent. So good for Savannah Maddox telling the truth about Thomas Massie. So there you have it. Donald Trump is now trying to primary the one guy who isn't bought and paid for in the Congress, Thomas Massie. That's your America First president, Donald Trump. I know it's tough for MAGA to have to hear this, to realize that Donald Trump has actually sold them out, and he's siding with the globalists. He's siding with the military-industrial complex. He's siding with Wall Street against his own farmers. He's siding with Big Pharma. That's hard to take. I get it. He's also exploding the deficit. All that Doge was a big scam, and that's why Elon Musk got upset with Donald Trump, because he felt used, because he was used, because they didn't cut any of that Doge money from the budget. They just gave it to the Pentagon and the State Department. They even gave them more money.
Bannon thinks Trump's going another term.
So, good on Thomas Massie.
It's not hard if you lost your business as like a cattle rancher because they rigged the beef prices in favor of Argentina and screwed you. I'll bet it won't be that hard of a. I mean, I don't know if they're in Kentucky, honestly, but if they're voting for Massie, I assume his district has voters that are intelligent.
Yeah,
because he's the only guy that seems to do his job.
So, soybean farmers got screwed by Trump for Argentina, and the cattle farmers got screwed by Trump for Argentina because he's actually bailing out billionaires that are his donors. And one of those billionaires, George Soros.
Yeah.
He's bailing out George Soros, an equity fund that George Soros is involved in. Anyway, that's tough to hear, I know. Come see us in Australia. Second show's added in Melbourne, Sydney, and Brisbane. We'll see you in Burbank, California, the day after Thanksgiving. It's a Friday. And then Pottstown, Pennsylvania, December 6th. Plus, January 11th, we're going to be in Waikiki at the Blue Note. Tickets not available yet for them, but go to jimmydore.com for a link for all the other tickets.